Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Well, technically, you just started by saying something, so.
We've started then.
We've started then.
Hey, it's episode 5, not another podcast with Tony and Dana. We took last week off because Dana got sick again.
Yeah, I was sick. I had a sinus infection.
So you were on the Otrivin nasal rinse?
No, I was using Otrivin, but you can't use, when you're congested, you can't overuse nasal sprays, decongestants, because it can cause worse congestion.
You can become hooked on it, right?
And you become addicted to it.
That's how you find yourself in a dark alley asking some rando for more Otrivin.
I didn't use it for more than 3 days, and instead I went with the sinus rinses. It's like a squeeze bottle.
You put in one nostril,
comes
out
then
the other.
You squeeze the water, the saline solution, and it comes out the other nostril. So it flushes everything that's in your sinuses, and it's extremely satisfying.
You're addicted to taking videos of your actual rinse to see what comes out the other end.
It's so fun.
It kind of reminds me, the fascination with Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah.
People like seeing gross things.
Mm-hmm. I love them. I recommend them. But you cannot use tap water because you can get like a brain-eating amoeba.
Is it amoeba? I think it's amoeba. Yeah, I think it's amoeba.
All I know is that you could die.
Yes, you could die.
All I know.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, you can't use tap water. You have to use distilled water, bottled water, or like previously boiled water.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, but you could probably still hear it in my voice. I'm a little congested still.
Mm-hmm. So people are into that.
I got to do I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the sound. I have to
when I used to get sick and I'd come in, I'd be starting to get sick or I would be on the last few days and I'd come in, my voice would drop a whole octave. Ladies liked it.
And people think you're sexy.
Yeah, it's the only way to fool them.
I know.
What did we do this week?
Well, so we are recording this
Monday.
on the holiday Monday, Victoria Day, and the weather is trash. The weather has been horrible all weekend. It was hot last week, and now it's like 10 degrees. It's really so windy
cold. Too. Yeah. So if you're planting, and by the way, I was never a planting guy. Maybe smoke plants once in a while. But as far as what are you smiling for?
No reason.
She gave me that look like, oh, you think you're clever, huh? I get it.
You do think you're clever.
I plant vegetables.
Yeah.
And this is the weekend, right? You're supposed to start planting.
Well, after this weekend, you're supposed to wait until this weekend because your risk of frost is almost nothing.
Right.
But it's not because it's going to be 3 degrees overnight. So yeah, I have all the plants in the garage.
What did we get for plants?
I got tomatoes. I got broccolini. I've never tried that. So I'm going to try growing that this year. I got a jalapeno plant. I got some herbs and lettuce.
I love how you say you, not we.
Well, I paid for it.
Okay, it's yours.
And I chose them.
The one thing I tried to plant once, butternut squash, but squirrels kept eating it.
Yeah.
So it's another reason I hate squirrels.
They love the free vegetables, the all-you-can-eat buffets around town.
We also went to go see Thunderbolts or the new Avengers. We went to the theater to see that, and it was okay. It was all right.
I didn't not like it, but I wasn't like, wow, that was incredible.
It was okay.
It was okay.
What, 7? A 7 out of 10?
6.
6 out of 10.
6 for me. 6.5.
What do you call me? Cheap, right? And
I don't call you cheap.
Well, if you book your movie tickets online, it's $1.50 charge, online booking fee, right? So I refused to pay that. But for this one, I was like, maybe we should book ahead of time. I'd rather drive to the theater the day before, buy the tickets, and save myself $3 or whatever. But I said to myself, hey, maybe we should book ahead. And you're like, no, it's Saturday at 12:30 because we go to movies Saturday at 12:30 now. Because it's awesome.
I know, and we have our pudding. It's great.
Yeah, and then once we put our teeth in, we get in our polyester suits and walk over in our horse and carriage.
I had a conversation on the group chat with my girlfriends about this because one of them was like, we should go to the movies. Let's have a movie night. And they were talking about, Saturday night or something and what time they would go. Something around 7 o'clock. And I'm like...
Oh. Why would you do that?
I love a matinee. Anybody else want to go to a matinee? I'm talking between 12 and 3 o'clock.
Were you alone?
Yeah.
No, matinees are the best.
Everybody was like, movies are for nighttime. The theater is for nighttime. You go to the movies at night. It's the last thing you do in the day. I'm like, no, I want to do it in the day so that I have the night.
The rest of the day to do stuff.
The rest of the day and the night to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
And one of my girlfriends who has 2 kids is like, I'm trying to get away from my kids. I'm not going to the movies during the day to be around other people's kids. No, the night times is for adults and for movies.
It's the best because the popcorn's fresh because it's freshly made.
Yeah.
Right? The lines aren't as crazy. And there's a good chance that you're going to get a good seat. Who wants to go at night?
I don't know. I think it's an unpopular opinion for our age.
Our age.
Sorry, my age.
Yeah, your age. Yeah, definitely a popular opinion of mine. I'm just waiting for the seniors discount to kick in.
No, I think it's an unpopular opinion to want to go to a matinee. I think more people prefer night movies, but that's why we work so well together, because I'm an old soul, you're old, period.
I have no soul.
And
so you just kind of
so it
fill in for me.
Works.
The more we talk, the more I realize like maybe this isn't a relationship for me.
No, I think that I love a matinee movie. I think it's far superior to night, and I can't stay awake. I can't stay. If we go to a movie past 7 p.m., there is a very good chance that I will fall asleep.
That one time we went to go see, what was it, Captain America?
Civil War. I fell asleep.
And she fell asleep and she woke up. She goes, what happened? I'm like, you missed the Civil War. It's done with. And it was at the mid-credit scene.
I mean, when I was a teenager or like in my early 20s, we used to go to the last showing. It'd be like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
The last showing of the night. And you get out, it's like 1 a.m. There's nobody around. Like that used to be my favorite, but now, nah.
Also, it doesn't help that the seats are much more comfortable than it used to be, because we were talking about how movie theater seating used to be like stadium seating. You have like a flip up chair, except to be padded. Instead, now it's the big, huge leather chairs with the reclining in it. So it's like, it makes it perfect.
We're so spoiled now at the theater. I think the Cineplex here in Ottawa, the only one that doesn't have reclining seats yet, I think, is South Keys. So if you want to get nostalgic and uncomfortable, we could go see a movie there.
There's nothing about good memories of being uncomfortable.
One of my girlfriends actually was talking about how she went to go see Gladiator. This was earlier in the year. And a couple brought in their 3-year-old child. This is an R-rated movie, by the way.
And loud.
And they didn't even have a seat for the kid. They sat down in the 2 seats, and they were at the theater where the armrest in the middle goes up, right? So it can turn into like a love seat, basically.
Yeah.
So they put the armrest up, they put the kid in the middle, gave them headphones and an iPad.
Oh, if I was sitting behind them, I wouldn't have any of that.
Oh my gosh, right? The movie's like 3 hours long. How long do you think a kid is going to be entertained by an iPad in a dark room? Not for 3 hours.
I would complain to them, and if they didn't do anything about it, I'd go to one of the ushers.
Well,
man, I sound like such a snitch.
You do.
Never tell me a secret. I'm the worst. Excuse me, we've got complaints about the iPad. But remember, before the movie, because you have to watch 10 minutes of commercials before you get to the trailers, they have that commercial say, don't be what is it? A Sally speed talker or
Sally
Tony Texter?
Tommy Texter.
Tommy Texter.
Yeah, they have a few new ones now, I noticed.
Frank the Fornicator. Don't do that in the theater unless it's empty.
I was going to say Mary the Masturbator. Definitely don't do that.
I didn't think anyone saw me.
And anyway, my girlfriend said that that kid ended up being taken out of the theater, like wouldn't contain
the parents
themselves.
had to take them out.
So the mom had to take the kid out, bring him back in, start freaking out again, take him out. So it's like, you don't even get to enjoy the movie as a parent. Why bring your child to, first of all, an R-rated movie, a movie that, you know, your kid's not going to be able to contain themselves for like almost 3 hours. Right.
I was going to say they had nobody to babysit.
Yeah.
You were telling me the other day about how a friend of yours can't get their grandparents to babysit kids because grandparents don't babysit kids anymore.
Yeah, you know that.
What is this?
What's that old saying? It takes a village, right, to raise a kid.
Yeah,
because you get a lot of supports from your family. So I guess a lot of, I don't know. It depends culturally. I think where what your family's views are, maybe. Mm-hmm. But they said like my parents don't want to ever babysit my kid. They're just like, I did that with you.
I've done my time.
Like, bring your kid over. We can all be together as a family.
But babysitting is a no-go.
Don't think you can just dump your kid off at my house anytime.
Is that one of the benefits of having a child? You can just drop it at your parents' house whenever you're annoyed.
I guess, yeah. But I mean, that's if your parents are like that, right?
I think my parents would be, hey, bring him over, leave him for a little bit. We go out and do your thing. Maybe it's different because grandparents aren't like our grandparents. My grandparents were very like, stay around the house, don't go out very often. Maybe a lot more grandparents are active and they're out doing
stuff.
Traveling. They're hanging out with Frank the Fornicator, going to see movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it too. I know my mom, like if we had a kid, my mom would be like, leave that kid at my house and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, here, I'll pay for your vacation.
This is my baby now.
I'm the captain now. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
This is my baby now.
I'm the mother now.
Yeah. But there's like families that they don't have, I don't know, maybe that sense of, like we both come from European families, right? Mm-hmm. I know I had friends in high school that when they turned 18, their parents were like, get the hell out of here. Time for you to move on. Get your own place, get a job, and get out.
I did have a few friends
if
like
they
that.
weren't going to school.
But my parents were never really like that. They wanted me to get a job. I even took a year off and just worked, but maybe it's because I worked, but they were never really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I would have been a different person if they were. I wonder if it strains your relationship. Because I think
don't
some people
know.
see that as a challenge. Maybe some people see it as a challenge. And like, I got to go out and I got to do everything for myself and it's going to make me a better person.
Well, okay, this might be embarrassing for some people, but I stayed at home until I was 30. I moved out a bit to go do an internship
Yeah.
at a radio station in Brockville. So I moved out for a bit, but then I came back because I still wasn't sure, where I was going in my life and my career. And I'm so thankful that I was able to do that and I was able to save money and not go into debt with the cost of living now and even only 10 years ago. So I'm thankful for that.
Speaking of kids, you kind of dropped something on me the other day. So one of your friends is having a kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we were eating dinner and then you turned to me and you said, "You think we'll have a kid?" You ever see a burrito almost come back up?
Which is weird because you weren't even eating a burrito.
A few times we got this question from listeners who have sent it in. It's like, do we have children in our future? Have we thought about having kids?
Yeah, I talked to my mom about it this weekend too.
She wanted us to have kids, but didn't push us.
Well, she's always like,
Yeah.
like time's running out for you. You have to decide, right? I mean, I think I'm still a bit on the fence, leaning to no.
Yep.
Leaning
Leaning
to no. I
towards
just, it's weird. I don't have, and I talked to my mom about this too. I was like, I feel I don't have that maternal instinct.
But people say you don't have it until you have one.
You have one. That's exactly what my mom said. She's
but
like,
what kind of gamble is that? What if you have one and you don't have it?
Exactly.
Now what?
Exactly. I don't know. That scares me. And just, I feel like, some people have this such strong desire to be a parent and to live that lifestyle. And I don't have that desire to live that lifestyle, to be a parent, to have a baby. I love babies. I don't like kids.
No, yeah, you love to smell babies.
And like everybody says, you don't like kids. It's fine. You don't like other people's kids. You will love your own no matter what.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know. I don't have that. I feel like I don't have it within me. So I feel like I wouldn't be a good mother because of that.
I think I'd be a good dad.
I think you would be too.
I think so. But do I want to be a father? I don't know. I do like the fact that my name would live on.
But at the end of the day, it's just a name, right?
It's my last name. Like I lived like having a legacy left behind for a child. But what if my child's an asshole?
But like what? And no offense.
Oh, all taken.
What legacy do you mean? Like just
me,
just your family lineage?
Yes. Yeah, my family lineage.
Okay.
What did you call it? Lineage? It's lineage.
Lineage. That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have so many questions, and how many times a day do you feed it? How many times do you burp a baby before it's okay? What's a good consistency for baby poop? Like I have
no idea.
Exactly. I have
honestly
millions of people have babies.
And everyone
millions
figures
of
it out.
unqualified people have had children.
Tell me about it.
Millions, okay? I don't know. When you bring the kid to the hospital, like
people figure it out along the way. Millions of people have.
I know, but I have so many questions. I'm sure parents have gone through that.
First time parents
go through that all the time. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to bother my parents every like 5 minutes and ask them all these questions. Plus, like, they're Portuguese. Their answer is throw some holy water on them, give them a thumb of whiskey, you're fine. Why are my parents Irish? Why are my parents
Irish?
Irish?
Some whiskey, they'll be fine.
Put in your whiskey, you'll be fine. And meet me at the potato farm.
You do your parents' voice all the time. Why did it go Irish?
I don't know. We're so sorry to the Irish people listening.
Anyway,
I have so many questions. I don't have any answers for them. People are like, well, read up on it. I'm like, is there a YouTube video? I'm sure there's YouTube videos.
Oh my God, there's books, there's videos, there's so many supports, there's so many. We have the internet now, right? Before
That's
the internet, what did people do when they were like,
Encyclopedia Britannica?
Why does my baby's
breastfeeding?
Yeah, like let me just
I can't do that. I can't do that. Mom?
Let me just go to my Britannica encyclopedia collection.
Yeah, like I have all these questions and I'm afraid I don't know the answers. Again, this is what millions of people have gone through before they have their first child. So it does freak me out. Also, you've said social media. This world is
it's different.
It's kind of fucked a little bit, you know?
Well, everything is scary. And thinking about if the middle class is struggling now, how's it going to be in 10, 20 years? Like,
and the
inflation
environment
just keeps raising. What's the ceiling on it? It's infinity. There is no ceiling. Everything just gets more and more expensive as the years pass. And the environment, there's more wildfires, there's more natural disasters. Like,
what kind of world are you bringing them into?
I mean, we need to have kids. because we can't, if we stop, we'll just cease as a
society.
species, right? As
Yep.
a society. But like, you have to wrestle with those ideas too of what kind of life they're going to have.
And if we're having a kid, and let's be honest, our kid will probably be funny, but not smart. If we have a child, you know what I mean? Unless they're going to be a stand-up comedian.
But ridiculously good looking.
Child's amazingly good looking. There's a good chance that they're going to live with us for a very long time before they move out.
Yeah, probably.
And what if your kid's a jerk? Like, parents.
No, but you raise your child, right? Like that. Everything you do when you're raising your child impacts their personality and their temperament.
It just seems that my friends are always complaining about their kids.
Yeah, that's what parents do. But they
That's
wouldn't
true.
trade it for the world.
Well, some would. In private conversations, they've told me. I think time's running out because you're 37.
Yeah, not for you. You have all the time in the world, don't you?
I wonder if my age, my swimmers aren't as good.
I think the quality maybe declines. But I'm not really sure.
Just like us in like
you can still have a child. Look at Al Pacino. How old's Al Pacino?
81?
And Robert De Niro.
Oh, right.
They're
yeah.
they're 90 something having
With
kids
30-year-olds.
with 30 some year old women.
When I get to 80, I'll dump you, find a 30-year-old,
Right.
impregnate her, totally forget about it because I'm 80. Would you want a boy or a girl?
Gosh, I feel like I would connect more with a girl. So I worry, that's another worry of mine. I worry that I would be disappointed if I had a child and it was a boy. Yeah, I don't want to have that feeling. That's terrible. And I even feel guilty.
Do you think that's a possibility?
I even feel guilty saying it.
Do you think that's a real possibility that you find out you're having a boy and you're going to be bummed?
Yeah,
Oof.
I do. And I feel so guilty saying
Why?
that. I don't know. I worry that it's so hard now to raise boys. I feel like with everything in the world and like you said, social media and their influences and the manosphere and red pill content and all that stuff, it's really hard to raise boys right now.
I think
it's a big responsibility.
Well, I think having a child is a big responsibility either way.
No matter what.
But I think you can make the argument that it's harder for to have a girl because all the pressures women have going through life.
Oh, of
Go
course.
on social media, you have to look a certain way. Like you have to wear a certain thing and have certain, like makeup and stuff, and just.
Well, yeah,
I'm a
those
guy.
pressures have been around forever since
That's
the
what I mean.
dark ages.
But it's amplified. It's been amplified with social media.
Yeah, no, for sure, it has. It would be difficult challenges on both sides, no matter what gender your child is, right? But I don't know. I feel bad saying it, but yeah, I think that I would have a tinge of disappointment.
So you're obviously right now leaning toward, because I go back and forth.
I go back and forth, and then sometimes I'll see a baby at the grocery store, and the baby is like very happy and like smiling at me, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, you have cute aggression.
Yeah,
so you
like,
take a big whiff of it. The mom freaks out, and we have to leave the store.
Oh yeah, that baby, this smells so good. I check them off. I smell babies like infinity stones. Like I'm collecting them.
Yeah, into a gauntlet. The child is mine.
Yeah, sometimes I get that. Oh my God, imagine I had one. Then I get home and I'm like, it's so quiet. Everything is pristine. This is nice.
Well, everything isn't pristine. We have 2 cats.
Well,
so
as pristine as it could be with animals.
I got to go back and forth. There's been a long time where it was no kids, no marriage. But every once in a while, I'll see somebody. Like I was on the subway one time and there was a guy sitting in a chair, and he was a solo chair, and his wife was sitting on one leg and his kid was sitting on the other knee, and they were having a great time. And I'm like, that's really sweet, And then the other day we were walking out of Winners and I saw someone holding their kid's hand, and I'm like, man, I kind of want that.
But I think that you have to ask yourself why you want kids too, right? If you do want kids, like why do you want a child?
What do you think most parents would say?
I think most people would just say, well, I want to be a mom, or I want to be a dad. I want to be a parent.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like you do it out of love because you have so much love, between two people or within you, that you want to share that love with a creature, like a being, right? They're with another human.
I don't think creature is the right word to use.
Probably not. With the thing there, the it.
The it from the Black Lagoon.
You have so much love within you, and you want to expand on that and grow a family. I think that's one of the big reasons people want to have kids, and you have that. And there's no guarantee your kid is going to want to
Be your
visit
kid.
you when you're old. Or a lot of people always say that,
it.
right? Oh, who's going to take care of you when you're old? Me, with the money I saved from not having a kid.
Yeah. Do you think if
But it's not a guarantee that your kid is going to stick around and take care of you when you're old. In fact, you shouldn't even ask that of your kid. That's a burden to put on your child.
there's a lot of kids that they're family only in name.
Yeah.
If you have siblings that you don't really get along with, you kind of understand that. I have 3 siblings. We all kind of get along. Me and one of my sisters had a strained relationship for a long time. I would always crack the joke, we're just family in name. But after my mom got sick, it brought us all together. And, we have a much better relationship now.
Yeah.
So do you think you'd live to regret it? We can't answer these questions.
I would rather, and I say this all the time, I would rather regret not having kids than regret having one. Than feel like I regret having this human, right? I feel like that would make me feel very guilty. So I would rather regret it for myself than regret a whole ass human person.
Whole ass. Why can't you be half ass? Why whole ass?
I would rather that. And I think that people have kids too and think that, oh, my kid's going to be like this and do this. And they're going to grow up and they're going to be in, I don't know, hockey. And they're going to go to school, be a doctor, right?
Yeah.
And I think that people forget that you have a kid and they're their own person.
Oh, you mean
that
like
has to figure out their own way.
Well,
and all you can do is help them along.
I did have some friends that their parents put a lot of pressure on them to go into specific fields.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think we'd be those type of parents.
I don't think so.
I'd be like,
we would just be like,
can you
please don't
graduate high school?
We'd be like,
don't get busted for shoplifting.
Please don't get into radio.
Why are they calling you Frank the Fornicator? What's happened at the movie theater? A lot of friends say, oh, when they see me with their kids, like, you're so good with them. I'm like the fun uncle. Maybe I'm only destined to be the fun uncle.
The fun uncle.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. For me, you asked me earlier, I didn't even answer you. You said, is there a timeline, right?
Well, yeah, you're 37. 36?
Yeah.
That makes me feel better. 36.
So I think my timeline would be 38. If it doesn't happen by next October, not this October,
next October. Happy Halloween.
It's just not going to happen because the older you are,
the harder it becomes to have
the harder it is on your body and the more health risks that there are. So
if we had a kid, would you do like Lamaze classes?
I would want to do a water birth at home.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems like
we give birth to Aquaman?
No, it just seems Natural. There's something like, going to the hospital and it just seems so stressful. I would rather do it at home.
Well, if you haven't figured it out, we haven't decided, but apparently we're on the clock now.
Well, yeah, I mean, we are. That's unfortunately.
But you're
right.
If
it doesn't happen, it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't happen. I will be okay with it.
I think I'll be okay with it too.
Yeah.
I think whatever happens, happens. Oh, that's so cliche to say though. Ugh.
Yeah, you're such a cliche. You're a walking cliche.
Find out more after traffic and weather, So we do have some questions at Tony Stark Radio. You can send to us on Instagram or at Dana Breezy. Also follow us on TikTok at Tony and Dana. What is something the other person does that really annoys you? Can I go first?
Wow.
I will.
Okay, you seem excited about this.
Dana uses nose strips, right?
Yeah.
So
they're the breathe right. You put them on your nose and at night, and they open your nasal passages so you can breathe better.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
I can't live without them.
they're also, you kind of look like a football player.
Well, athletes use them.
Yeah,
because
breathe right.
you get more oxygen. Yeah.
But when you peel it off in the morning, she likes to tease me by pretending to put it on me, which kind of grosses me out. So I told her not to. Then when she's gone, she leaves it stuck to her book on the nightstand. So the other day I saw your book and it had 4 nose strips stuck right on the book. So that really kind of annoys me.
Better than what I used to do with my nightstand.
What did you used to do with your nightstand?
When I was a kid, I would chew gum. And then when I would go to bed, the gum, I didn't have a trash can, but I forgot to spit my gum out. So I would put my gum on the nightstand and it would just dry.
Oh, and then would you use it the next day?
No, but I would add to it. Like
buy a trash can.
Just add to
Go to the dollar store. They're $1.
I know,
trash can.
It's disgusting. Is it my turn now? Is it my turn?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see you have no reason to be annoyed. I don't do any of that.
So you don't brush your teeth first thing in the morning, which I
Nope.
find crazy because that's what I do. I wake up, the first thing I do is brush my teeth when I go to the bathroom.
We're talking about brushing teeth. How many times a day do you brush your teeth?
Twice.
Why are you laughing when you say twice? Because it's not true?
Always twice.
It's not true?
So I get up and I brush my teeth. And then you don't brush your teeth first thing in the morning. Instead, you come downstairs, you have your coffee, you have your breakfast, and you bring your mouth guard with you. You bring your toothbrush, your toothpaste.
I grind at night.
You leave your toothbrush and your toothpaste on the kitchen counter all fucking day.
Yeah.
All day.
That's right.
It's there because he's brushed his teeth.
Yep. And I know.
In the fucking kitchen sink, by the way.
Oh, no. I brush my teeth and I spit out in the bathroom. I don't do it in the kitchen sink.
I've seen you spit out in
it
the
might have
kitchen
happened
sink.
once or twice, but those are anomalies.
Anyways, toothbrush sits on the counter all day where we're preparing food, getting lunch ready.
Not really. It's kind of away from that, but I understand the point.
But
The point is valid. It's on the
out-
counter.
It's just
Point is
out
valid.
on the counter, and it drives me nuts because a toothbrush only belongs in the freaking bathroom.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only place it belongs.
So
So that's what drives me crazy. I have more. Can I go on?
I know I think one.
It's just
I
one
think it's one
each?
shot each. Yeah. But you can save yours for next week. How about how did Tony annoy me this week? Once a
New
week.
segment.
So I come down, I have breakfast, have my coffee, and then I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
And then I leave the toothpaste and the toothbrush to the side. And I know that at night, when Dana goes up to bed, I'm gonna brush my teeth down here anyways, because I have to nuke my mouth guard so I can put it in. So I just leave it out here anyways. Is it annoying? Yes, it's annoying. It's annoying behavior, and I apologize for that. But at least I brush my teeth twice a day.
What is this? Like,
I'm trying to look better.
you are putting on a show for the podcast right now.
Why?
Because when I confront you about it, you are not like, I'm so sorry. I know it's annoying. Like, you've never once said that. And yet now we're on the podcast and you're like, I acknowledge that. My deepest condolences for annoying you.
When you bring it up, I respond with the line from Billy Madison, "Don't tell me what to do, devil woman."
Yeah, you have said that many times.
So here's a quick snapshot of life in the house at night. Dana's in bed. She's getting ready to go to sleep. I go upstairs to say goodnight. I say, "Do you brush your teeth?" She stares at me with a grin, which means no. And she goes, "I'm already in bed." And I'm like, "Why don't you just quickly brush your
I
teeth
know.
before you go to bed?"
Sometimes I do. Like, I do get it in there.
Again, it's an anomaly when it happens
It's
at
not
night.
an anomaly.
It happens at night.
It does happen though. Like I sometimes I go on a hot streak, and then something happens where I'm too tired and I just want to go to bed, and then
Yeah.
it ruins my streak.
Yeah, I get it. But, I'll tell you what, if you start brushing your teeth twice a day, I won't leave this
Fine
downstairs.
deal. Oh my gosh, that's easy.
Yeah, but you can't be like, I hear the toothbrush running and I walk upstairs and it's just on the counter by itself
just like,
while
oh.
you're in
I'm just holding it.
minty. We were talking about movies earlier on the podcast, and you said you wanted to talk about movies that you say are your favorite, but you're not.
I always think that everybody has their favorite movie that they tell people when they get asked, "What's your favorite movie?" And then they have their real favorite movie that they don't tell people about.
Like your guilty,
unless,
is that like your guilty pleasure movie?
yeah, unless they really know the person, right? So when people ask me, or when people ask you, "What's your favorite movie?" What do you tell
I
them?
can't answer that. I really can't. I don't know. I used to say Good Will Hunting, but I don't even think that's true anymore.
No? So
don't
you
really-
don't have like a favorite movie you tell people about, and when you don't?
No, I don't.
I would have said yours was Good Will Hunting and then The Sandlot.
The Sandlot is my favorite, which is still a good movie. So wait, when people ask you, what do you say it is?
I say it's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Okay, good movie.
Which is it's an excellent movie.
Your real one is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
No, my real favorite movie is Liar Liar.
Oh, I would say so. Do you remember one time we took that quiz and that was one of the questions was what is your partner's favorite movie? And I didn't put Liar Liar. I remember something else. And you got really annoyed. I didn't know it was Liar Liar.
You put like an animated movie. I think you
Oh,
put a
I put
Disney
Inside
movie.
Out?
Yeah, Inside Out, which is a great movie, but it's not anywhere close to being my favorite movie.
Well, how often do you ask your partner what their favorite movie is? Like you probably ask them once when you start dating and you just completely
then you
forget.
don't, yeah.
It's one of the stupid questions you ask on one of the first dates.
Both of my favorite movies are Jim Carrey movies.
And on totally different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, totally different.
But Liar Liar is a good movie.
That movie made me want to be a lawyer when I was a kid.
You a lawyer?
Yeah, I know. I'm not nearly smart enough for that shit.
Your
Oh my
Honor, I
God.
object. All my gum is stuck to my nightstand.
Gross.
Anything else you want to bring up?
Hey, a company's buying 23andMe for $256 million.
Oh, hey.
That means they're going to own my spit.
I thought wait, do they still own it? I thought you said that you told them they couldn't use your DNA.
Well, no, I deleted all of my data and everything.
But they probably still have
But
it.
they
somewhere.
still have my spit in a tube somewhere. I assume they saved them.
So I could be walking along one day and run into like literally your twin.
Clone.
A clone.
Why-
When
a
you say clone, I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's my clone.
Why would they clone me? Gosh, that would be a waste of
Well, they
time
could
and
try to
energy
improve
and
you.
money.
They could try to make improvements on people they have. Like I bump into you and you're like, I brush my teeth twice a day. Girl, I think I'm ready to have your baby. All right, that's it. I think we're good for today.
Yeah.
Hey, remember you can follow us on, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TikTok, Tony and Dana, and Instagram at Tony Stark Radio and at Dana Breezy.
Yes.
Send us questions for next week's show. Have a good week. Feel better, eh? With your nasal rinse.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go do it right now. Gosh, I've been itching to do it.
See you next week.
Why did you pause like that?
Well, I didn't know what to say from that. I'm like, okay, cool. See you next week.
Fucking weirdo.